Welcome to a brew day. Today, doing something I have never done before, and it's very common, and a lot of beginners brewers do it, and a lot of advanced brewers do it. It's called a brew in a bag. If you've never done it, that's the name. This is a method using this mesh bag, and you put your grain in there and in your mash, and then you throw it when you're done, and you have your wort. It's essentially really easy, really fast. I have no idea why I haven't been doing it more often. I just love the authentic way of doing the all grain, vorlofting, the whole romance of it. I love all of that. But I figured, it's time. It's time. It's time to do this. And I'm going to do this from a beginner's perspective so we both can learn at the same time. The recipe today is kind of weird. As usual, 100% rye pale ale. I have done 100% rye beer before on this channel. Turned out pretty good. This one is going to be a pale ale, stronger, hoppier. I like to go really hoppy on my IPAs and pale ales, so this is going to be probably closer to 65, 70 IBUs, but lighter in alcohol. Rye normally can add somewhat of a spicy flavor to stuff, like up to 20-15%. And the hops, I'm going to use 100% Equinox, which I have used before. I think I used it on the brew day I did with Brew Beer Company, and I think I used it one other time, but I think it was just cryo hops. Today's pellet hops. And how I calculate this is you go for Beersmith, you click here, and then you go down, and then you click on brew in a bag. And I've heard that putting your grain temperature is very important. And this is now adjusted here, and you're not doing any sparge at all. And then there we are, 6 quarts of water. I adjusted this also to get exactly 6 quarts by my boil time. So you're essentially thinning your mash way out when you do this, and but that's fine. I mean, I guess you lose a little bit of efficiency, so I bumped it down a fraction just to compensate for that. So if you get like 76% efficiency, maybe you get like 70. I don't know. I'll find out. I usually get around 72% efficiency. I put 65 in the program. So let's get the water started. Let's do it. I think this is going to go well. It always goes well in my videos. Always. Oh, did I get it bad? I got a bad one. I got the wrong size bag, of course. But if I have to cut it, I will. But let's see. Alright, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Take a look. Take a temp reading, see where we're at. I'm high, 153. So, I was going for 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's fine. I missed it by 3 degrees. For a first attempt at this, it's not egregious by any means. The good thing about this too is I can just turn on the heat as needed. So if this will drop down as it goes along for the next hour, as everything converts. And I'll just heat it as needed, and I can always leave it out, get down to 150 and just hold it there even if I want. I can also raise it up, do like a step mash to get longer dextrins if I want at a higher temp. So sometimes I can give a full body beer if you want that. So you can maybe raise it up to like 160 degrees Fahrenheit for half an hour near the end, or about halfway I should say, about 30 minutes in. I usually add the salts that are needed for like flavor additions and calcium especially for helping with conversion and the yeast later on. I usually do that in mash water, but I'm brewing a bag, so I figure I'll just do it right now. I'm also going to add lactic acid right now. Should get my pH about right. 5.2 is the range I'm going for. 4.9. Wow. Brew water let me down. Dang. I followed brew water exactly. It's weird. Well, I'm going to add some baking soda to this. I'm going to eyeball it, stir it in, and hopefully that raises it up a little bit. 6.2. I added like 0.25 grams of baking soda. It was way too much apparently. I got to add lactic acid back into this. I'm making a mess of it. We'll get it though, guys. We'll get it all dialed in. There we go. Oh, that was interesting. I didn't even measure my lactic acid again. I just was in a panic and I just threw like 1.5 liters of lactic acid back into it. Thankfully, I got it right. There are calculators out there that can help you when you throw in baking soda, and I believe Beersmith has that, and I think even Brewed Water has it. I should look into it though, shouldn't I, instead of eyeballing? So I have heard of people covering their pot when it's the mash is holding for that hour with blankets, and it really insulates it. It's really not a bad idea. If I do this again, which I probably will, I'll consider, heating it, putting it in, and then just get a bunch of blankets and try and wrap it. And hopefully it holds for that hour, because turning the burner on every 10-15 minutes is kind of annoying. Plus I'm like having to hold this above the bottom so it doesn't like burn or melt, which I don't know that it will, but I'm just being cautious. And of course the other way to do it is to do a sous vide, which I have done a few times. It's worked pretty well. I've seen it done online before with a brew in a bag, so also an option. It's been about 10 minutes. Let's see where we're at for temp. 140. So I'm going to turn the heat back on. All right, made it an hour. Heat this up to 165, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This is called the mash out. Denatures the enzymes, kind of stops from working. Some people say it can help efficiency of fraction. I don't know. I don't usually do them, and I do it with my other sparging methods, which is like rinsing the grains for the second time. But it can't hurt. All right, got this to 168 degrees Fahrenheit. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. Time to pull this out. I know I've seen people do crazy stuff with this, like get rigs where they put like pulleys and stuff, and I've seen people set up ladders where they like put ropes in to hang it, because can get very heavy if you're doing 5 or 10 gallon batches. But thankfully I'm doing a 1 gallon batch. To strain it out, I got this. It's one of my old false bottoms. Looks like it's gonna work perfectly. Now there's been some debate on whether you squeeze the bag here. I've seen it done, but people think that you can extract tannins that way. I mean, I don't know. I'll just let it drain out, but I don't have to get everything out of this. So, I don't know, food for thought. Man, I'm very close to my pre-boil volume. Yeah, it's close enough. I was going for 1.2 gallons of wort pre-boil. I'm at like 1.15. So, let's see where our sugars are at. Okay, those new to brewing, this is a refractometer. Gravity is what's called like gravity points. It's like how much sugar's in this. 1.000 is water. It's like a little line that registers with it. This is at 1.307. My pre-boil target was 1.035. So I'm right on track. That's about 67% efficiency. Aside from the hiccup with the mash pH, it's going okay. Let's get the boil started. Yeah. Oh, my knees. I'm so old. I'm old. $10.60. 1.060. Those are the sugars. A little higher than I was expecting. 1.055 was my target. So this is cooled down. My wort's cooled down now. Time to transfer. Did you guys see how snotty that looked? I got some on my hands earlier and it was like slime. All the beta glucans, which is a soluble fiber, which is in the rye, is so slimy. And I think doing a brew in a bag, it just got everywhere and really sunk into everything. That's my guess. When I used 100% rye on my other beer I did, it wasn't this slimy. When I used to put dry yeast into a beer or wort pre-beer, I would swirl it in there. I've been hearing recently it's better for dry yeast to sprinkle on top and kind of let it rehydrate first. So that's what I'm going to do. That's about under a quarter of a pack. I'm going to ferment this around 66 degrees Fahrenheit. I normally do for all my ales. And I've got, usually get good results that way, unless something else happens along the way. All right, well, there you have it. I did it. I accomplished the task today. I might try this again. I mean, I think I did this brew day in like 3 hours. I mashed in at like 3 o'clock and it's almost 5:30 right now. So 2.5 hours. Granted, I did shorten my boil as well. But that's nice, man. I can bang it out that fast. Got the volume I wanted. Guys, gonna get a 6-pack out of this. Yeah, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep getting weird and try new things and be adventurous. You never know what you're gonna find. See you next time.